We're rolling into the first weekend of spring, through some snow flurries, at that, with 5 of your questions. What would the Browns have to give up in terms of draft picks to move from our second-round pick back into a late first-round pick so that we can have that extra year on the player's contract and improve our odds of getting a starter year one? Philip H. Street, Clairsville. This is a fun question, and it has a variety of answers. If you go off the old-school Jimmy Johnson draft value chart, the Browns would need to surrender their second-round pick, no. 49, and third-rounder, no. 80, just to move into the bottom of the first round. If you go off the newer Harvard trade value chart, Cleveland could move as high as the 22nd pick just by parting with its second-rounder and fourth-round selection, no. 119, so those charts don't offer us a ton of help. A better guide might be looking at some recent trades made by teams to get back into the first round. Last year, the Ravens parted with very little in the present to move back into the first round to take Lamar Jackson with the 32nd pick. Along with the second-round pick, Baltimore swapped spots with Philadelphia in the fourth round, a difference of 7 picks, and also sent a 2019 second-rounder. In 2017, the Browns traded back into the first round to snag tight end David Njoku with the 29th pick. To do so, they gave up the no. 33 selection and a fourth-rounder, no. 108, and Browns general manager John Dorsey was at the center of a similar trade in 2016. He parted with the Chiefs' 28th overall selection and a 7th-rounder for San Francisco's second-rounder, 37, 4th-rounder, 105, and 6th-rounder, 178. The Browns still have 8 picks after their big trade to start the league year. That's more than enough assets to make a move back into the first round if they choose to do so. Dorsey made moves both forward and backward in his time with the Chiefs, so it's hard to peg him as a guy that prefers to go one way or the other at that time in the draft. Only time will tell. Will the Browns sign another quarterback? If so, do you predict he will come from free agency or the draft? Stu F. Punta Gorda, Florida. As it stands now, with Tyrod Taylor signing a 2-year deal with the Chargers, the Browns have just 2 quarterbacks on the roster with Baker Mayfield and Drew Stanton. By the time Cleveland hits the field for OTAs in May, or even its voluntary mini-camp before the draft, you'd think it's more likely than not the team adds an arm or two to the mix simply to take the load off the shoulders of Mayfield and Stanton. If the Browns do so through free agency, a handful of veterans remain available, including David Fales, Blaine Gabbert, Mike Glennon and Sean Mannion. The draft, as always, has a handful of options in the later rounds. In the most recent edition of Best Podcast Available, USA Today Draft Wire's Luke Easterling identified Penn State's Trace McSorley as a potential option for Cleveland in the 5th round, where it holds 3 selections, or later. My answer to the second part of your question? It wouldn't surprise me if the Browns use both avenues to fill out the room.